Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Survival Prepping Foraging series. Today, we're going to be talking about a nice edible that's found pretty much all over the world. It's called barnyard grass, and it's also called cockspur grass, and it is a hated weed all over the world. It can mature in as little as 42 days and produces about 40,000 seeds on each plant, which is pretty awesome for foragers. It is, however, a severe problem in rice production, with one plant per square foot reducing production up to 25%. It can reduce corn yields about 20%. While it likes damp places, it is also not bothered by elevation and will grow all the way up to about 5,000 feet. It is originally native of Asia, but barnyard grass is found not only all over the world, but throughout North America. I think with the exception of Alaska and the northern tier of Canada and Newfoundland. I think that's the only place that it doesn't grow. Although it might be from somewhere else, Native Americans really like this plant, and they utilized it quite extensively. They would pound the seeds and grind them into meal and like make a mush out of it. And they would also cook their fish with the grain. There are about 20 species in the genus with great variety. One of them has purple stripes on its leaves. But one thing they do have in common, or don't have in common, depending on how you want to say it, is it is the only common summer grass that has no hairs or membranes at the collar. So we'll talk a little bit about the identification of this plant. It is a summer annual. It grows up to 5 feet tall. The seedlings are completely hairless. The leaf sheaths are often tined red or maroon at the base, and they're often growing outward before they turn up towards the sky. The stems are thick, often branched at the lower nodes, and they may be tinged red to maroon at the base. The leaves are anywhere from 4 to 20 inches, depending on the size of the plant, and they're about 1/4 to 1 1/4 inches wide. The leaves have a distinct white mid-vein, and near the stem end, the vein becomes keeled. There may be some short hairs at the leaf base. The flowers are knot-like. The seed head is a terminal panicle, 4 to 16 inches long, green to purple, and it may have individual spikelets with a long terminal on. It's like a thin piece of straw from a broom at the end of the seed spike. The lower branches of the flower spread further apart than the upper branches. The head can be either erect or drooping, depending, and sometimes it will be purplish. The plant flowers from June to October, and you get seeds in the fall. It germinates from late winter to early spring. In warm areas, the process can be continuous throughout the year. You can find this plant in a bunch of different environments. It's found alongside the road, in ditches, in irrigated crop fields, pastures, orchards, vineyards, margins of ponds and rice fields. It tolerates poor drainage and it tolerates flooding very well. It's usually found in wetlands and wet places, very rich soil, swampy ground, brackish marshes, swamps, disturbed sites, and poorly drained areas. It is intolerant of dense shade, so you're going to find this in a lot of sunlight. And it can take up to 80% of the nitrogen out of the soil, so this is not something that you really want to grow yourself. Let's talk a little bit about the method of preparation. The winnowed seeds can be used as a staple grain, parched, roasted, boiled, ground into flour. The young shoots are often eaten as a vegetable. You can either eat them raw or you can cook them. The roots are boiled to help with indigestion in the Philippines. The seeds can actually be popped just like popcorn. And in Japan, it is used to make macaroni and dumplings. The seeds are roasted and often used as a no caffeine coffee substitute. Now you'll notice I left the photograph of this plant up for the entire video so that you'll be able to get a really, really good look at it to help with identification. So if you have this plant around you and you see it anywhere, know that it is very useful plant. It's very good to eat, and happy foraging. Always, 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 I can't stress this enough, always make sure whenever you're foraging any wild edible that you have 100% surety on the identification of the plant before you ever decide to eat it. Okay? Love you guys, appreciate you guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. Till I speak to you again. Love many, trust few, and do harm to none. God loves you, and so do I. Bye-bye.